Obviously, you've dealt with some off-the-field issues. I don't need to highlight those, but tell us why teams should overlook those and still take you high.
They should overlook it because, I'm a great guy. I'm not a bad person. Those are just things that I have to overcome and learn from, and which I have overcame and I learned from, and I'm becoming a bigger man. So, I just love the sport. I'm passionate about the sport, and I respect the sport. So.
Let me get this out the way. I'm an Alabama fan. I'm all about Roll Tide. Your 3 years at Alabama, 40-3. You lost in the national semifinal. You lost in the national championship game. You won a national championship game.
Yeah.
I can't think of a better resume than that. I have no questions about the elite football player I expect you to be. I'm not even getting into any details. I'm not going to ask you about that. What I'm asking is a general question for you, the Jabril Peppers, and others of the world. How do y'all find yourselves in these kind of situations, knowing the NFL scouting combine is going to be what it is, knowing the draft is coming up? Why do y'all find yourself in this position at this particular moment in time instead of your antennas being up and making sure every I is dotted and every T is crossed so you don't find yourself in
Tell him you need to be
Hydration situation.
Answer that for me. Just general. Just general.
It's not a hydration situation. No.
Okay.
Week prior to the draft, it was just hectic for me. From the nurse, from the diluted sample. Trying to hydrate. So I couldn't do nothing for that, but just try to better myself. From the coaches saying that I was too light and all that, just trying to better myself and trying to get a better perspective in their eyes. So I couldn't help none of that. So there was a diluted sample, but I can tell you this: I never had a failed drug test at University of Alabama. I never had an off-the-field occasion at the University of Alabama. I never had a suspension at University of Alabama.
So you drink the water
Max,
to get your weight up.
Max, that's good enough for me, Max. That's good enough for me. That's good enough for me, Max. That's all I want to hear.
So, yeah,
I'm
right.
good.
So the fluids are to get your weight up.
I'm good.
The fluids are to get your weight up, in other words, and that's why it comes back diluted.
It was to get my weight up, too, because when I got there, I was scared because I got finished talking to a coach. So, therefore, I was 224, 225. And when I weighed in, I was 229. I could have reached 230, but, week prior to the draft, I was sick. I was throwing up, and I was doing something else that I can't say on national TV right now. But
I gotcha.
Yeah.
But
it happens to the best of us.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
But
Listen. I'm not trying to affect your money. I hope you get paid. But
Neither
if
am
you
I.
fall, but if you fall to the Giants, I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
Which team did you grow up rooting for?
I grew up from Atlanta Falcons.
The Georgia guy.
Georgia guy, yes, sir. Georgia guy.
You see,
Do you think they need you? Do you think they need you, particularly after what you saw in the Super Bowl?
Not with that linebacker they have right now, shoot.
You'd have to fall to the second round for that to be the case, because they're picking down low.
I want to get into something, and you went through incredible adversity, a tragic situation when you were a baby and your father shot your mother. You were just 18 months old and you were in her arms. And I just want to say, to get to this point, congratulations to you and props, because overcoming these odds is absolutely incredible. How did that incident affect your life and how you approach things moving forward?
It affected me big time, knowing that I have an 8-year-old daughter, soon to be 9, July the 2nd, by the name of Isaiah Blackman, which I just I vouch, I've made a vow to myself for just being there for her, not trying to become my father, not trying to be that person that's not there for their child. I'm always be there for my child. When I was 14, I made a statement like I'm not going to be like my father. So I want to be a great dad and a great father and a great mentor for others too, that was in my shoes. So I just took a vow that I wouldn't become that person.
And being a better man, changing the cycle. Good for you.
Let me get back to a little football in this regard, Reuben. I mean, Roll Tide, like I said, I think about Alabama. I don't like that. Let me tell you what I think can be held against you, Reuben.
Yes, sir.
Y'all couldn't figure out a way to stop Deshaun Watson at all. I mean, not just one, but 2 national championship games. I mean, what was wrong with y'all's defense against Clemson, and not 1, but 2 national championship games? And what do you say to folks who's got questions about all of y'all? You, Jonathan Allen, everybody on the defense, because Deshaun Watson kind of did his thing against y'all. How do you explain that?
Hey, he was a grown man. I applaud him for that. Look, we kept hitting him, but he wouldn't give up. So like that was he had a mentality out this world that he won't give up. But I say that his wide receivers, based on his linemen, all of them played a part. It just Deshaun Watson just picked his team up on that.
Which NFL player you look at, you survey the landscape, you say, that guy, I play like that guy, or he plays like me?
I say more like Patrick Willis or Ray Lewis, but at the end of the day, I'm here to create my own style, my own playing style. So I want kids or young men to say I want to play like Reuben, just like I said, Patrick Willis or Ray Lewis.
Captain of the defense kind of guy.
Yeah, captain of the defense type of guy, leadership type of guy.
Are you always as positive? You got like a good energy, like you love life.
Yeah, so much negative, you gotta reflect it to positive.
I can see it though. Your whole energy is kind of like lit up in your face. That's something special we don't always see.
Well, it's kind of
multi-million-dollar payday.
It's kind of, and not only that, Max and Molly, it's kind of easy.
Every day.
He's the one doing the hitting. I mean, he ain't getting hit. He's the one doing the hitting. It's real easy. He should be smart.
You right about
By the way,
that.
and he's hitting. And he is hitting.
You're right. A hitman we trust.
He hitting everybody, knocking everybody upside their head, breaking necks, and crying out loud. I mean, he should and getting paid for it.
Nice to see someone all
That's not a bad
smiles.
life.
That's all I gotta say. Appreciating life, Reuben.